Good morning, Hammers fans. I'm Nick, and this is my daily ramble. Hope you're all well, and I hope you're having a good week so far. This is going to be a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde show today, which probably fits my current mood in terms of all things West Ham. On today's show, we're going to be talking about whether or not we're being led up the garden path by Moyes and the club in terms of the speculated incoming transfers. 111 players we've been linked with. Unbelievable, isn't it? You know, are we just being paid lip service? Is it all a big con? I'm going to let you be the judge of that in a bit. After I've said that, I'm going to provide you with a very exciting player link. With talks that are said to be accelerating and a deal looking like it's actually going to happen. So stay tuned for that. It's a really, really exciting story. And if you're new to the channel, as always, and you enjoy the show, please hit the like button and leave us a comment. It really helps us. While you're at it, why not subscribe? And don't forget to hit that bell notification button as well, just to be alerted of all upcoming shows. Now, before we start with the main topic, I'm going to begrudgingly update you on the latest in the Lingard saga. It's gone into overdrive this week, isn't it? You know, with rumours stating that he was favouring a move to Newcastle or Everton because he wanted to remain up north. And then the very next day, the Daily Mail and several other sources were saying that Jesse had changed his mind and he was about to sign for West Ham. It was almost a done deal, you know. I don't know whether I didn't believe it. X then put out a tweet or he updated on his Patreon or something like that, discrediting this story completely, and that caused a bit of a storm. And then after all that, after everything, today we learned that the TikTok dancing twat is catching a flight to the US, and there's 3 MLS teams that are fighting to sign him in a mega bucks deal. Now, look, I really hope that this isn't enough for Moyes to call time on this obsession with this bloke, because at this point, I think I'd rather welcome Pyatt back than him. I mean that and all. But that said, you know, don't get me wrong. If he does somehow sign, I'll probably do a rendition of his latest TikTok dance. But until that point, piss off, Jesse. Right now, a quick roundup of the news. Obviously, all transfer and player news. We are still hopeful of securing a deal for Brozier. It's not anywhere near or anything like that. But we're not the only club interested. Chelsea are playing silly bollocks over the fee. And also his status at the club. You know, 1 minute they want to use him and see what he can do. The next minute they're kind of giving him the cold shoulder. But the fact is, look, he is a West London boy and he wants to remain in London. So you would have to think that we've got to be in a driving seat with this deal when you consider the other teams that are in the mix on this. We're said to be chasing several midfield and left back options. But look, we've all heard the names, and I'm not about to reel them off. I ain't got all day. 111 names. Absolute joke. Right, the talk of Benny, Diop, Masuaku and Vlasic leaving has cooled. So they could be here next season. Thomas Souček, his future is still up in the air. Apparently the new contract talks are said to have stalled once more. And the club, they've always been open since the start of the window in their stance of they're willing to listen to offers for the player. Now, there's rumours that Newcastle and Villa are interested, but it's more likely that if he does move, it's going to probably be back to a European league, with Germany rumoured to be his favoured destination. Now, some reports from the training camp. Connor Coventry, he's really impressing, and he's expected to play a big part in the upcoming pre-season games. Whilst this is the best news, Angelo Bonner has been immense, apparently. He is looking like the Angelo of old. He's really surprised people. So there are no guarantees at all that Aguirre is going to walk straight into that starting 11. And I hope it's true, to be honest. Not because I've got anything against Aguirre. I just love Oggy, and I would love to see him have a great season with us. You know, a great last season, because I can't see him staying beyond this season. Right, okay. Well, let's start off with Hyde, as promised. And I'll end as Jekyll. We'll end on a high note. You know, right. Are West Ham... Are we actually going to do the type of business that we all expect and that we have been told to expect in this window? Or are we being led up the garden path? Is it all lies? I don't know. Hear me out. Excuse me. Now, we know that Moyes is a loyal manager to his players and he likes what he knows. He doesn't like change. We definitely know that he doesn't like making many changes to his starting 11. He doesn't. This is during the season. And finally, we all know 100% that David Moyes... he's going to be the last manager to make use of that new 5 sub rule. He's not a dynamic manager in game. You know, he sticks and he rarely twists. So with all that knowledge, take a look at this squad graphic. Now try and think like David Moyes. Try and think like David Moyes and have a look at the screen. Do you think that he would be upset or bothered if he has to start the season with this squad of players? And this is a squad of players that they've got in back-to-back 7th place finishes, Europa League semi-final. In fact, do you think that Moyes actually, deep down, does he want to shake up the team and risk harming that squad? Well, look, I say squad, the first 11 togetherness that has seen us do so well over the past few years and overachieve, as I think we would all agree, in the way that we have. I think Moyes will probably look at his options, and I can see him being happy with it. I mean, we've got 2 fantastic goalkeepers, and we've probably had an upgrade in that position now, because you would like to think that Areola has come in and Fabianski is dropping to the bench. We're oversubscribed at right back, because we've got Soufal, we've got Johnson, and don't forget we've got Ashby as well waiting in the wings. We've got 5 excellent centre backs with really good options at right and left centre back. At left back, we've got Cresswell, and I don't think that Moyes is ready to give up on him yet. And to cover him, he's got Johnson, and he will feel that he can cover there because he used him last year. And in all fairness, I think Johnson sometimes looks better on the left than he does on the right, which is a bit weird. And then there's Arthur Masuaku, who, look, we know Moyes does like to use on occasion, and if he's here and he's in the squad, he probably will use him. And in addition to that, like Ashby on the right, we've got Longello on the left, who is apparently staying with the first team squad, and he's going to be looking at featuring in pre-season as well. Now, in central midfield, we've got 2 players that literally never get injured, and they never get dropped. And if they were to get injured, you've got Lanzini, you've got Fornals, and a bloke who's not on the graphic, but I've already mentioned, you've got Connor Coventry, who would definitely do a job there. We've got an abundance of number 10s, too many. You've got Lanzini, Fornals, Benny and Vlasic. They are all natural central attacking midfielders. They're not wingers, I don't think. And then you move to the wide positions. You've got Bowen, you've got Benny. This is in Moyes' eyes, by the way. The people that he's used there, Bowen, Benny and Fornals. And then we do have Okoflex as well. A player who we didn't see last year, but you've got to think that he is going to start breaking through at some point. And again, like at left back, Arthur Masuaku, if he stays, could be used wide on the left. We all remember that pearler he scored against Chelsea. Now, the only glaring position that you might think you can't talk your way out of it is a striking position. But we know what Moyes will do if and when Antonio gets injured. And it's quite simple. We saw it last year. He'll do this. Bowen moves up top and he'll shuffle the wide players. Now, look, I'm not saying I agree with any of this because I really don't. We 100% need a high-quality left-back to replace Cresswell. I'm not saying I want Cresswell out of the club, but he needs to be back up now. We need to improve in that position. Now, in central midfield, we can't expect Dek, and if he's still here, Souček, to play every minute of every game. And I don't think the other options that I've just spoken about, I don't think they're comparable replacements in that position. I don't think they'll do the same level of job. And plus, look, we know that Dek is he's probably gonna go next season. So surely we do need to get players in. We need to get prepared for when that happens. And also, don't forget this nonsense with Souček and his contract. It could just be hardball from the club. They might have no intention of letting him go. They're probably just trying to drive the contract down. And also on top of that, can you see anyone paying what we're asking for him? I think we're looking at about 40 million. But that's central midfield. But then you look at our forward positions, and again, like I said, and I agree with that, we're fine in that 10 role. We are overloaded there, but we absolutely need a natural left-sided winger because shoehorning Fornals and even Benny out on the left, that is not a solution. And we absolutely, more than anything else, we need a striker to share the burden with Antonio. He can't play every game. He just can't. So even if you don't get injured, there were games last year where he was like a ghost, because he was so fatigued. And if Antonio isn't 100% physical fitness and condition, there's no point in being on the pitch. And I don't think putting Bowen up front is the answer either. I'm not saying that Bowen can't play there, but when you play Bowen up front, you lose his threat on the right, where he was so brilliant for us last year. So no, I don't think that's the answer. But do I think that Moyes will be as bothered as me or some of you? No, I don't. That's the worry. I'm not saying he won't sign anyone, but I don't think he's going to break his back to do it. I think he'd be perfectly comfortable going into next season with this group of players. But anyway, look, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that Moyes, do you think he will be that bothered if we don't sign anyone? Is it all smoke and mirrors from the club? And what would your reaction be if say we added like one more player and just a squad player at that, so we didn't improve this starting 11? Let me know in the comments because I'll probably do a show next week on this actually. So, and I'll throw your comments up on the screen and we can debate it. Okay, well look, that's enough conspiracy theories for one day. I'm putting Hyde firmly back in the box, and now for a story that goes completely counter to everything I've just said in typical me fashion. And I've got some good news. Got some good news for you, and it is bloody good news. After all the unrealistic targets that we've been linked with, stretching back to January. Nunes, Phillips, and just recently James Ward-Prowse for 70 million. Finally, we look like getting. This is a brilliant deal as far as I'm concerned. We look like getting a brilliant deal over the line, okay? And this chap, Flynn Downes, he's a 23-year-old box-to-box midfielder who plays for Swansea. Now, this is a lad that has been scouted for a year by Leeds to replace Calvin Phillips. And it looks like we've nipped in at the last minute to fight off Palace, who were trying to do the same thing. And I think we're in a driving seat because, get this, he was brought up in Brentwood. And he and his family, they are all West Ham fanatics. Now, this does, on paper, look like a deal that even we can't fuck up, surely. It's got to be in the bag, isn't it? It's got to be. The fee's rumoured to be in the region of 12 million. So it's an absolute no-brainer for us. He does look the real deal. I've watched him a few times. And whilst if Souček is still here, I wouldn't expect him to walk straight into that first team. He's exactly the type of player that we need. This is a signing in the mould of when we brought Bowen in. He's one of the top talents from the Championship in his position. He's got it all, Like I say, there are show reels on there, but they don't do him justice because, like I say, he's a central midfielder, so he's not a glory player, but he has got a lot, trust me. He's powerful, he's nippy, he's tenacious, he's got really, really good passing ability, and he's just got all the ingredients, really, that make a top box-to-box player. And there are, and also, if you have a look at it, there's a lot of excitement around this, and there's some great tweets out there. And have a look at this one from Jimmy Walker. Look, this is a good one. So Jimmy says, I'm not just seeing it. I won't do his accent. You can ask him if you get the chance, but I told this kid 2 years ago at Ipswich he'd replace Declan in a few seasons. And thankfully, it looks like they can play together. That is some engine room, that. And Flynn Downes, there's a quote there from West Ham News and Views, where he's come out and he said, so he's confirmed it. My family are West Ham fans. We used to go to Upton Park. It was such a great ground. Everything was so close. So, yeah, I'm just really excited about this one. And the fact is, he's a West Ham fan. So that has got to be the cherry on the cake for all of us, really. After losing Noble, it's good to have somebody that comes in, if it happens, somebody that gets the club, somebody that understands it. And I think that is really important. Now, back to Moyes and that central midfield and him not buying any players. Look, if Moyes is going about his business quietly and, we're getting players in this way, then all power to him, because this deal was, like I said earlier on, it's said to already be in an advanced stage. And the ITKs, they knew nothing about this. They didn't. Normally the ITKs, when they do know about a deal, they give you step by step because these deals take a while. But they're found out quite late. This is quite late. But again, we can't get carried away, can we? I don't want to get too carried away, even though I'm excited about this one because we've all been here before. So until I do see him holding that shirt, I'm not going to believe it. But, let me know in the comments, what do you lovely lot think about this exciting news? But that's it for me on this week's show. I hope you all enjoyed it. I mean, look, if you made it this far, you must have. So don't forget to like the video. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe and hit that bell button. Enjoy the rest of your day. Soon be Friday. Get out, you hands.